Good evening. Today is Sunday, November 2nd, 2025. I'm Rich Stevens, and this is the Cold Take. What you are about to hear is news from this week taken only from primary sources like press conferences and court documents. You can find sources and attribution for every story at thecoldtake.com. We begin in Mississippi, where earlier this week on I-59, a truck carrying research monkeys crashed and the primates escaped. Initial reports indicated that the monkeys were aggressive and infected with hepatitis, COVID, and herpes. All but 3 were found and euthanized later the same day. Later, Tulane University released a statement asserting that the monkeys had not been exposed to any pathogens and were just being transported for research. 3 monkeys remain at large in Jasper County, Mississippi. Monday, a San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputy was shot while responding to a domestic dispute. The suspect fled on a motorcycle and initiated a high-speed chase that ended in a shocking crash. While the suspect suffered minor injuries, the deputy succumbed to his wounds that day. The man accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk in September had a virtual hearing on Tuesday. There were several motions before the court. The court ruled that the defendant may appear in civilian clothing to preserve the presumption of innocence. However, given the potential of life in prison or death as an outcome of this case, the judge denied the request to appear without restraints. He ordered the sheriff's department to use the least restrictive restraints necessary to maintain safety. He further prohibited the media from filming or photographing the defendant's restraints, or while he's entering or exiting the courtroom, or standing while restrained. His next appearance is in January. The full hearing is posted on thecoldtake.com. Today's episode of The Cold Take is brought to you by Daylight Savings Time. We all got an extra hour of sleep last night that the government will take back from us in March. I literally just turned these clocks on Friday and I already have to change them. Hit subscribe for more news with clocks that are running. Today is the 33rd day of the federal government shutdown. In addition to the expiration of the Affordable Care Act policy premium subsidies, 3 food assistance programs ran out of money on Friday. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, provides food benefits to eligible families. The program aids purchases of healthy foods like fruit, vegetables, meat, and poultry. As of May 2025, nearly 42 million Americans receive these benefits. Eligibility varies by states and is determined at the state level. SNAP also includes a special program for women, infants, and children. WIC is available for women who are pregnant or postpartum up to 1 year and children up to 5 years old. Applicants must have a family income at or below 185% of the poverty level and be at nutritional risk. The program provides nutrition education, breastfeeding support, and free healthy foods. May 2025 data shows nearly 6.9 million participants. The third program impacted is the National School Lunch Program. This program provides free or reduced price meals to nearly 30 million students. Congressional funding is required for these programs and expired on September 30th. The USDA was able to utilize shutdown contingency plans, carryover balances, and unspent funds to extend benefits through October. Democrats have sued the USDA, saying that additional congressional contingency funds are available and should be utilized to further extend the programs. However, the USDA asserts that those funds are not legally available. According to the agency, contingency funds are not available to support fiscal year 2026 regular benefits. This is because without an appropriations bill from Congress, those benefits no longer exist. Thursday, President Trump urged Senate Republicans to end the filibuster and reopen the government. Republican members of both the House and the Senate have pushed back, saying that the rule is critical to forge consensus and compromise in the government. Several states have sued the USDA in federal court to force the use of contingency funds. 2 judges issued rulings directing USDA to fund the programs on Friday. In response to the rulings, the president said he has instructed government attorneys to get clarity from the court about exactly how to fund SNAP legally. You can read about these programs, their cost and participation, along with the lawsuit and ruling at thecoldtake.com. The Department of Transportation withheld $40 million from California for failing to comply with English language proficiency standards. This comes after several high-profile cases involving non-citizens with commercial licenses causing fatal highway accidents. Secretary Sean Duffy signaled this week that after continued noncompliance, he will withhold an additional $160 million from California. Gavin Newsom maintains that the state does not determine commercial driver license eligibility. He has noted that states must confirm all application information through federal databases. Trump spent most of the week in Asia. In Kuala Lumpur last weekend, he facilitated a peace deal between Malaysia and Cambodia. While there, he also secured trade agreements with Malaysia, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Thailand. These deals aim to diversify supply of minerals and add resilience to the global supply chain. In Japan, a technology prosperity deal was signed to collaborate on AI, 6G, space exploration, and fusion technology. Trump wrapped up in South Korea, where he struck a similar deal with that government. South Korea then facilitated a meeting between Xi Jinping of China and the American president. Tariffs will be reduced or removed between the United States and each of these countries. You can read more about these deals at thecoldtake.com. Tuesday is election day across the country. New York City will vote for a new mayor, Virginia will elect their next governor and attorney general, and California will vote on potential redistricting. In Israel, an IDF soldier was killed Tuesday by Hamas. Qatar confirmed this to be a breach of the ceasefire agreement. Israel then conducted airstrikes on Hamas sites in Gaza. Video circulated showing Hamas burying bodies to later pretend to find them before returning them to Israel. Israel and the Red Cross strongly condemned this deception. Israel maintains that Hamas knows where all of the bodies are and is simply choosing to violate the ceasefire agreement and withhold the hostages. In finance, Jerome Powell spoke Wednesday following the Fed meeting. Relying on private sector data for this month's report, he stated that the labor market is gradually cooling and inflation is somewhat elevated. They lowered interest rates by 1/4 of a point during Wednesday's meeting. He noted that housing remains weak, but consumer and business spending is stronger. Markets rose for the third consecutive week. The Dow gained a modest 355 points, the Nasdaq added 520 points, and the S&P 500 rose just 49 points on the week. Gold fell to a 4-week low, closing at $3,996 per ounce. Moving to sports, Sunday, Lando Norris led the Mexican Grand Prix after a 4-wide contest for turn 1. He never relinquished that lead, winning the race and passing his teammate for first place in the Drivers' Championship. Charles Leclerc finished second, with Max Verstappen completing the podium in third. In college football, unranked 3-6 West Virginia defeated 22nd ranked Houston 45-35. 9th ranked Vanderbilt fell to Texas 34-31 after scoring 21 unanswered fourth quarter points and nearly recovering an onside kick with seconds remaining in the game. Bill Belichick got his first ACC win with UNC against Syracuse Friday night. His squad won that game 27-10. Miami played their first out-of-state game this season yesterday. The 10th ranked Hurricanes traveled to Texas, where the Mustangs of SMU kicked a field goal to tie the game with 25 seconds remaining. After intercepting a pass in overtime, SMU scored to defeat Miami 26-20. 5th ranked Georgia escaped the Florida Gators at the world's largest outdoor cocktail party in Jacksonville. The 24-20 final score could have been 31-20, but Bulldog quarterback Gunnar Stockton knelt at the 1 to keep the ball and run out the clock. Georgia was a 7.5-point favorite and did not cover the spread. In the later games, undefeated number 8 Georgia Tech lost 36-48 to unranked North Carolina State. 18th ranked Oklahoma went to Knoxville and beat Tennessee 33-27. And finally, In the MLB, Game 3 of the World Series Monday night was an 18-inning marathon that saw Shohei Ohtani step up to the plate 9 times. He hit 2 home runs, had 3 RBIs, and was walked 5 times. The Dodgers won 6-5. The Jays bounced back on Tuesday, winning 6-2 to tie the series. In Game 5, Wednesday, Toronto needed only 1 pitch to take a 1-0 lead. 2 pitches later, they went yard again for a 2-0 lead in a game they won 6-1. The Dodgers punched back Friday night with a 3-1 win to force Game 7. Shohei Ohtani started Saturday night against Max Scherzer. Despite scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the first, Toronto let the lead slip away late, ending the 9th inning tied at 4. Will Smith hit a solo home run in the top of the 11th, making it 5-4. Yamamoto closed the frame to secure a second consecutive World Series win for the Dodgers. Ohtani is a minus 50,000 favorite for the NL MVP. And like it or not, that's what happened. I'm Rich Stevens, and this has been The Cold Take. How about this kid from Georgia kneeling on the 1 with a 4-point lead to not cover the spread? How many people bet on that game, watched that kid kneel, and then threw their TV out of a window?